Here we are in the 7 Sports Cave, Brad Galli with Hondo Carpenter of Spartan Nation. We visited so many times up in East Lansing, but here you are in our new home and our new show on Sunday mornings. What do you think of the place?
I am in the cave, and I like this. What man doesn't love the cave, right?
And we even hooked you up with some of the Spartan gear up here. Every team was well represented. You can see the new Rose Bowl gear looks pretty nice.
You know what? It's nice to just be in the cave. This is the place to be. This is where every guy wants to hang out. I mean, you walk in, there's beautiful ladies serving your drinks of choice.
Where? I didn't see them.
Hey, if Tom Lydon's involved, you know it's going to be a party, right?
That's right, yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Well, it's been a party talking with you all season long, giving us your insight on recruiting. Obviously, signing day, the big topic on college football fans' minds. It's here for the Spartans. On defense, that's what got Michigan State to the Rose Bowl this season. Big names we talked about throughout the entire season. Enoch Smith, break him down. What do Spartan fans expect?
Well, he's the Spartan Nation #1 player in this recruiting class. He is a difference maker at defensive tackle. He is light on his feet. He's almost a ballerina. In fact, I asked him if he'd ever
ballerina on the defensive line.
I'm not kidding. And, you know, you got to love the big uglies because that's where the games are won. But what Enoch Smith does is he brings a great balance. He plays on the tips of his toes, great hands, and he's able to move fluidly. You see a guy of his size who's able to move. I tell people this. A lot of people love Jarrell Worthy, and we're going to talk a little bit more about Jarrell in a moment, who now plays for the Packers. But he reminds me a lot of Jarrell, but where Jarrell was as a freshman and sophomore in college.
Wow.
I mean, he just has that ability to move.
Let me ask you this. I know you've gotten close and you get to know a lot of these kids that are coming in to be Spartans. Is he the player that people should be most excited about?
You know what? I'm going to tell you this. This is Mark D'Antonio's best class, and this is how, when we ranked it at Spartan Nation, the guys who are at the bottom of this class, there are 3 or 4 classes Mark D'Antonio had where they would have been in the top 5. So I don't know if you can say there's one guy, but I will tell you he's going to be a player. Another guy, Craig Evans, a defensive tackle. Big, powerful, strong. The #1 player in the state of Wisconsin. He was committed to the Badgers. A lot of SEC schools came after him strong. Pat Narduzzi was able to flip him right there at the end.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you about him because he's a little different. He reminds me a lot of Halati Nada, or Lions fans know Sean Rogers. Big body. He's 330 pounds. He's little like you. He's like 6'1". Just got to give you a little. But you know what I mean? The point of the matter is that he plays, he's a wide body who just eats up space. In the Michigan State system that's so linebacker-centric, you want those big space eaters that 2 or 3 offensive linemen have to get around to be able to get to those linebackers, so he's a big choice. The Michigan State defensive line, I will tell you this is an SEC recruiting class on the defensive line.
Okay, especially with that late get, because this gets cutthroat at this time of year. Getting that late get, how big was that to turn the tide to pull that one in late?
You know, it was huge. It was still Mark D'Antonio's best class. So without him, so all of a sudden now you're exponentially making it bigger because now you've got 2 defensive tackles there that are game changers that both of them very well could not play their whole entire 4 years of eligibility. That's how good they are.
Wow, that's a lot coming in from a 17, 18-year-old type of kid. Defensive backfield, obviously Michigan State's going to lose a lot of talent there. The guys that are coming in aren't going to immediately step in and prove that, but people are looking for the next stars in that defensive backfield. Who are they in this class?
Viante Copeland. He is a Darquez Denard type player that just won the Jim Thorpe Award. One of the things that you always wonder about with defensive backs, George Perlis always says this, you bring a guy in, if he can't catch the ball, he's a wide receiver, you switch him to defensive backfield. This kid can catch the ball, Viante can. He has great speed, but here is what makes him special. He can go up in the air, create separation with that wide receiver, and catch the ball. And here's the best part. You know, Deion Sanders was a great cover corner. Deion Sanders didn't like to hit. Viante Copeland, he likes to hit like Muhammad Ali. So in that Spartan system, he's going to come up and play run support. So this is a kid. He's perfect. Michigan State targeted him early. They wanted him. They got him. He was a big get for them. But one other one, Monte Nicholson. Once again, Mark D'Antonio goes back into the land of Pennsylvania. Think about all that's prime recruiting country. He pulls out a safety. This guy plays like Max Bulla, but about 70 pounds lighter. He's just big, powerful, strong. I mean, I hate to say big at 195 pounds because that's not big, but he hits like a linebacker. Great cover skills. Again, the Michigan State defense, they did not lose anything. They reloaded.
Madre London is a big player on offense that you and I talked about a lot. And a lot of times when we put these shows out, people would tweet at me and say, he's the guy I want. He's the guy I'm so excited. He's coming. So is Gerald Owens in the backfield. Two great running backs that are coming into this class to hopefully boost this offense.
Let me throw this out to you because you may remember in our very first 4th and 1, we talked about Gerald Owens. He's a 265-pound Jerome. Now think about this. As of this morning, I'm 271. So this guy's 6 pounds lighter than me, and he's running at tailback. Now, a lot of people, oh, he's a fullback. No. Michigan State targeted him early. They went after him over a year ago. They wanted him as a running back. He said on my radio show, Brad, just this last week, he said, hey, I asked him because everyone's saying, am I a fullback? They're like, nope, you are a running back. And remember, Mark D'Antonio loves that J.U. Colquitt type running back. He's a big one. He's a guy they targeted early, and that Madre on them. They both had early offers. Michigan State just wanted him. And I want you to think about this. Those are two Javon Ringer, J.U. Colquitt. You know what those two did together? Katie barred the door on what these two can do together because it's two totally different guys. Madre London, he brings a surprising ability to catch the ball, run the ball, but here's the kicker. This is why he got offered, 16, 17 months before he signed. He got an offer because of the way he blocks. And you know this, with the Michigan State system, when you got a running back that isn't afraid to put his nose right in somebody's gut, an Enoch Smith type guy, 300-pounder, that's something special. Mondre London, he's a special player.
All right, we are here in this 7 Sports Cave. 5-6 years from now, when this class graduates, goes on, or even leaves early like you're talking about, and we're looking at pictures just down to the right, underneath that Rose Bowl sign of Calvin Johnson, players that could make it to the NFL. Give me one surprise in this class that could really turn the tide to become a special player. Rack your brain.
I'm going to tell you right now, there's a guy who's a little bit taller than Wes Welker, but he reminds me a lot. My good friend, he's still a great friend today, Mike Furry, used to be a wide receiver for the Lions. Yeah. He was the NFC leading pass catcher when he was with the Lions. Of course, he left like anyone that they just seemed to go. They didn't want to re-sign him, so he goes on to Cleveland and continues to have success. He reminds me a lot of Mike Furry. Matt Morrissey. Now remember, his dad was a legacy guy, played at Michigan State, went on and played for the Chicago Bears forever. Matt Morrissey is a sure-handed guy that will run across the middle. Now, we all know this. All of you listening at home know this. Brad, you know this. You make a living in the NFL when you'll go across the middle.
Absolutely. When
you'll let a Brian Urlacher take a shot at you. When you'll go take those shots, he is that kind of guy. Matt Morrissey, I think, could be the surprise of this class because he's tough like his dad, but he has sure hands. He doesn't drop a ball. I had one of his coaches say to me that he went 9 practices in a row before he dropped the ball.
Wow.
And that's full contact.
Wow.
9. I mean, the only thing I haven't dropped 9 days in a row is a Subway.
I'm still trying to put into my mind how Owens is just 6 pounds lighter than you and then still can run that way. But we'll get to that and much more as we continue to talk throughout the entire season. You can follow every single recruiting piece of news you need to know about your Spartans on SpartanNation.com. Follow Hondo on Twitter at Hondo Carpenter. We have all of the updates throughout the day on Twitter. Follow us, WXYZ.com. We've got it all. Hondo, good to see you, bud.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks for coming by the cave, man.
Love the cave.